Dear students, in my earlier class, I have discussed the water system and its phase diagram. Today, I will discuss the phase diagram of another one component system, that is the sulfur system. But before going to sulfur system, I would like to discuss some terms. Now, what are these? First of all, polymorphism. Polymorphism, the phenomena of existing a substance in more than one crystalline forms possessing different physical properties is known as polymorphism. That is, if a substance exists in different crystalline forms possessing different physical properties, then the phenomenon is known as polymorphism. This property is found in number of elements and compounds. When it occurs in elements, it is known as allotropy. So, when the polymorphism occurs in an element, it is known as allotropy. The temperature at which polymorphic forms changes to other is called transition temperature. That is, the temperature at which a polymorphic form changes to other is called the transition temperature. Now, for example, sulfur. It exists as monoclinic as well as rhombic sulfur. Now, the transition from monoclinic to rhombic sulfur is 368.6 Kelvin. So, 368.6 Kelvin is the transition temperature. The polymorphic forms which undergo reversible transformation into one another at the transition temperature are called enantiotropic, and the phenomenon is known as enantiotropy. So, the polymorphic forms which undergo reversible transformation into one another at the transition temperature are called enantiotropic, and this phenomena is known as enantiotropy. When polymorphic forms do not undergo reversible transformations into one another, they are said to be monotropic. So, when the polymorphic forms do not undergo reversible transformation from one to another, they are known as monotropic, and the phenomena here is known as monotropy. Now, we will take some example. Now, what is the example? White phosphorus can be transformed into red phosphorus under a suitable condition, but the reverse cannot take place. So, under a suitable condition, white phosphorus can be transformed to red phosphorus, but the reverse cannot take place. Diamond can be converted into graphite under suitable conditions of temperature and pressure, but the reverse is not possible. So, here we have discussed the monotropy, allotropy, enantiotropy, and polymorphism. So, now I will go to the sulfur system. Now, to discuss the sulfur system, first of all we have to know that the phase diagram of sulfur system, the sulfur exists in two solid modifications. One is rhombic sulfur and other is the monoclinic sulfur. Monoclinic form, this is known as SM, this is SR. Now, rhombic form is stable at ordinary temperature, whereas monoclinic form stable at higher temperature. These two stable phases, that is rhombic and monoclinic, along with liquid sulfur, SL, which we will denote as SL, and sulfur vapor as SV, gives an existence of four phases in sulfur. So, sulfur may exist in four phases: rhombic sulfur, these two modifications, rhombic sulfur, monoclinic sulfur, liquid sulfur, and sulfur vapor. Now, what is the possible phase equilibria in sulfur? So, it is one picture I have depicted, that is the rhombic sulfur, monoclinic sulfur, sulfur liquid, sulfur vapor. So, these are the temperatures. I will discuss this later on. Now, possible phase equilibria. two-phase equilibria. There may be 6 of this type. Rhombic sulfur to sulfur vapor, monoclinic sulfur to sulfur vapor, monoclinic sulfur and sulfur vapor, rhombic sulfur and sulfur, liquid sulfur, monoclinic sulfur, liquid sulfur, liquid sulfur, sulfur vapor, and monoclinic rhombic sulfur and monoclinic sulfur. So these are the two-phase equilibria possible. 6 types of two-phase equilibria are possible. There may also exist three-phase equilibria. What are the possibilities? Rhombic sulfur in equilibrium with monoclinic sulfur, it is also in equilibrium with liquid sulfur. So Sr, Sm, Sl, Sr, Sl, Sb, Sm, Sl, Sb, Sr, Sm, Sb. So these are the three phases equilibria. These 4 types of three phases equilibria are possible. Now whether 4 phases equilibrium be possible or not, that is rhombic, monoclinic, sulfur liquid and sulfur vapor, whether this is possible or not. We will see whether it is possible or not, whether these 4 phases can coexist in equilibrium, whether it is possible or not. Now according to phase rule, you know, F equals to C minus P plus 2. Now, for the least value of the degrees of freedom, number of degrees of freedom, that is F equals to 0, since this is a one component system, C equals to 1, then 0 equals to 1 minus P plus 2 or P equals to 3. So F cannot be less than 0. F cannot be less than 0. Hence all the 4 phases cannot exist in equilibrium. Then we may conclude that maximum number of phases which can exist in equilibrium is 3 in sulfur system. So the maximum number of phases which can exist in equilibrium in sulfur system is 3. And this is the reason. The degrees of freedom cannot be less than 0. Now we will go to the phase diagram of sulfur. Now, the phase diagram of sulfur consists of 6 table curves. 6 table curves. 6 table curves. Now, what are these stable curves? There is, you just see here, I am just taking here also. This is BO, OA, AE, CE, CF, and AC. So these are the stable curves. When we plot pressure against temperature, these are the stable curves. BO, the bold curves, OA, AE, AC, and CF. Students, one thing we mentioned here, that this pressure and temperature diagram is not in scale, not in pressure, also in temperature, neither in pressure nor in temperature. This is not in scale. To make you understand, I have drawn this diagram. Now, there are 4 metastable curves, the dotted lines. These are GO, OD, AD, and DC. So these are the metastable curves. I will discuss this later on. Now there are 4 areas. BO, CF, that is this area, BOCF, under this area, BOCF, under this area, this is one area. Other area is BOAC, this is another area, FC, FCAE, this is another area, and OCAO, this is another area. So there are 4 areas. Now there are 4 triple points. One is O, other is A, second one is A, C is another triple point, and D is another dipole point. So these are the dipole points O, A, C and D. We will discuss the dipole point later on. Now I will first discuss the curves. First of all, I will discuss the BO curve. This is the BO curve. Actually, this is the vapor pressure curve or sublimation curve of rhombic sulfur. This is the vapor pressure curve or sublimation curve of the rhombic sulfur. Now, two phases along this curve, SR and SB. There are two phases along this curve. This is SR and this is the SB. The equilibrium is monovariant. That is, monovariant, what does it mean? This F equals to C minus P plus 2. F equals to C minus P plus 2. 1 minus 2 plus 2 is equals to 1. So this is monovariant. So this curve BO, this curve, the equilibrium here is monovariant. So this is the curve B. Now this curve B starts from the transition point O. This starts from the O and ends at B. This starts from O and ends at B, below which SR, vapor of SR, below which vapor of SR cannot be measured. So this is the temperature. This is up to 323 Kelvin. So this can go up to 323 Kelvin, below which the vapor of SR cannot be measured. Now OA. Actually, this is the sublimation curve of monoclinic sulfur, of SM, the sublimation curve of monoclinic sulfur, SM. This starts from A, the melting point of monoclinic sulfur. This is at temperature 393 Kelvin and ends at O. And ends at O. This is the transition temperature of SR. Now two phases along the curves, SM and SB, SM and SB, SM and SB. Now equilibrium is there is SM in equilibrium with SB. So this is MB, there is monoclinic to vapor, this is SM, SB. Here also the degrees of freedom for this equilibrium is again equals to 1. So at one temperature, there can be only one pressure. So at one temperature, there can be only one pressure. So this is the curve OA. Now, the curve AE, the vapor pressure curve of liquid sulfur. This is the vapor pressure curve of the liquid sulfur. Here, the liquid is in equilibrium with vapor. Curve starts at A, and ends at E. This starts at A and ends at E. The critical point, this is the critical point, beyond which only SV, that is the sulfur vapor, can exist. So this starts from A and ends at E, up to the critical point, beyond which only sulfur vapor can exist. Now, along the curve, two phases, SL, this is liquid and vapor in equilibrium. Again, degrees of freedom equals to 1. The system is monovariant. Now I will discuss the curve OC. This is transition curve. Actually, this is the transition curve. It gives the effect of pressure on the transition temperature. This is the effect of pressure on the transition temperature of SR into SM. This is transition temperature of rhombic sulfur to monoclinic sulfur. Now the equilibrium along this curve is SR equilibrium with M. I have written R to M. This is rhombic to monoclinic to M. Here again, the degrees of freedom equals to 1. So this is the monovariant. Now the transition point is raised by this transition temperature is raised by increasing the pressure. As the pressure increases, you just see as the pressure increases, the transition temperature increases. Now, the slope of the curve is positive since monoclinic sulfur is less dense than the rhombic sulfur. Now, the slope of the curve is positive since monoclinic sulfur is less dense than the rhombic sulfur. That is, rho m is less than rho r. That is, so molar volume of monoclinic sulfur will be greater than molar volume of rhombic sulfur. So, according to Clapeyron equation, we will get the positive slope. So, all these curves are the positive slope. All these curves are the positive slope. Now, the tension point is raised by increasing the pressure. Now, we can explain this with the help of Le-Chatelier principle. Now, according to Le-Chatelier principle, the increase of pressure shifts the equilibrium in a direction in which decrease of volume takes place. So, we know when one of the parameters conditioning the equilibrium is changed, the system will go in such a direction in which the effect can be nullified. This is the Le-Chatelier principle. So, if we increase the pressure, the equilibrium will shift in a direction in which decrease of volume takes place. So, the volume will be decreased. The change from SR to SM is accompanied by an absorption of heat and by increase in volume. When we are going from SR to SM, so there is accompanied by an absorption of heat and by increase in volume. Thus, with increase in pressure, the equilibrium SR to SM is displaced towards left. Where the volume will be reduced, forming more and more SR. So, more and more SR will be formed. So, this area of the SR, this area will be increased as we increase the pressure. As we increase the pressure, the area will be increased because more and more SR will be formed. Okay? Since formation of SR is accompanied by an evolution of heat, the tension temperature is raised by increase of pressure. Now, when it is going to the left, more and more SR is being formed. And since the formation of SR is accompanied by melting of SR, is accompanied by absorption of heat, and the formation of pressure is accompanied by evolution of heat. So the tension temperature will be increased by an increase of pressure. So according to using the Le-Chatelier principle, we can explain that the tension point is raised by increasing the pressure. Now we will go to curve AC. This is the curve AC. Now this curve AC is the melting point curve of SM. So this is the melting point curve of the monoclinic sulfur, SM. Now this curve represents the equilibrium between SM and SL. This is the SM monoclinic and the liquid, SM and SL. Now this curve also has a positive slope. Now this AC and OC both have positive slopes, but the slope of AC is larger than that of OC. Why? We just see. dP/dt M to L, monoclinic to liquid, the delta H monoclinic fusion by T Vl minus Vm. So this Vm stands for the molar volume of the monoclinic sulfur, and Vl bar is the molar volume of the liquid sulfur. So both delta H and L, this difference, because it is higher than this is greater than this. The Vl bar is greater than Vm bar. So both delta H and this are positive. Hence, dP/dt is positive. The slope of AC is larger than that of OC, because it is the fusion. Here is the fusion. Okay. Now, when SM melts on taking heat, now this curve AC represents the equilibrium between SM and SL. This curve has a positive slope, we have already shown that, which means that the melting point of SM is increased with increase in pressure. The melting point of SM is increased with increase in pressure. This may be explained in this way. When SM melts on taking heat of fusion, an increase in volume takes place. Okay, because it is going to liquid sulfur. Now, again, according to La-Chatelier's principle, the increase in pressure backs the reaction, so the equilibrium shifted left, which results in the liberation of heat. SM plus Q, this is SL, so SL, this will be SM plus Q. This is the exothermic process. So reverse is the exothermic process. Thus heat raises the melting point. So the melting point again increases. Now again, this system is univariant. This system is univariant. F equals to 1. Now this curve starts at A and ends at C, beyond which monoclinic sulfur ceases to exist in stable condition. So above which the monoclinic sulfur does not exist in stable condition. Then we will come to curve CF. The curve CF. It is the CF, the curve CF. This is the curve CF. This is the melting point curve of SR. This is the melting point curve of SR, the rhombic sulfur. This curve passes through the point C. You just see this passes through the point C. And beyond this point, it becomes a stable melting point curve of SR. Stable melting point curve of SR. Above this point C, this temperature is 424 Kelvin and pressure is 1288 atmosphere. This temperature is 424 Kelvin and this temperature is 424 Kelvin and pressure is 1288 atmosphere. So above this point C, SR passes directly into liquid sulfur along the line CF.